Hello and welcome back to the podcast that wishes its name was Mad Mardigan. Welcome back to the best part of your
Fair
week.
enough,
Welcome
yeah.
back to the Love, Death, and Movies podcast, internet's number one film breakdown and review podcast, the podcast that crushes watch lists week after week. Every month is a different genre. Every week is a different film in that genre. So follow us on everything. Join along for the ride and let's watch some movies. I'm one of your hosts, Ash, as always, and with me is Harry. Harry, how are
Hello.
you today?
I'm great. I'm very dusty, do you know what dusty means?
Like, like you're rusty, like you're
Hungover.
not your 100% self.
Hungover is dusty in
Okay,
Australia.
got it.
Yeah, a bit dusty today. Sydney Swans, my beloved Swans. We've been having a really dry patch this whole year. Half our team's injured, so it just is what it is. Any win we get, we celebrate. Uh, we had a team come into town, which is, I'm sorry if there's any listeners that are Carlton fans. Ash, we do not like Carlton. Okay,
Okay.
we don't like Carlton. I used to like Carlton, and then I went to a game a couple of years ago. They're a suburb in Melbourne, Carlton, and that's their team. Went to a game at MCG, one of the finals, a couple of years ago, and I got like assaulted in a bathroom. Like they like push a couple of like three of these losers that went for Carlton, pushed me against a wall, went up to my face and was like, "You better leave town if you want to get out of here alive." They were all way smaller than me, so I'm like, "All right, all right," and I
Jeez.
like push them away. Then in my head, I'm like, "That's really fucked up." So now I hate Carlton. So every time they lose, it makes me happy. We slammed them in the last quarter. The entire game for the first three quarters, they were ahead. They were playing better than us. I will absolutely admit that. And then we had this guy on our team called Isaac Heaney, who he isn't human. He's not an athlete. He's an artist. He's unbelievable, and I fucking love him. And he won us the entire game. He was insane. No one can tag him. Eat shit, Carlton. Eat shit. So I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. I don't think I could be as good as you, but yeah, I'm pretty good. It was an okay week. It was definitely a long week. I'm ready for the weekend. I'm supposed to go see the new Found Destination movie tomorrow on IMAX, so that should be fun. I haven't been to the theater in God knows how long.
I need to
Too
go see
long.
that. I want to go see that because I went to IMAX to see Mission Impossible. I've seen the new Mission Impossible. Really liked it. Um, didn't love it. Really liked it. But going to IMAX is fun. It is fun, and I do
Yeah,
think
I've
I need to
never
see the new
seen.
one.
I mean, okay, that's not true. I have seen a horror film technically in IMAX if you count like Romulus,
I'd
but
count that.
I
It's
haven't.
sci-fi horror.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen like just like a gritty, gross like slasher, like constant kills,
Oh
type of
yeah.
movie
Oh
in
yeah.
that environment. So I'm gonna get sushi for lunch and go see the movie and make a little day out of it. So looking forward to that. But yeah,
Good.
I'm pretty
Do
good.
it.
So we're continuing on with our May We Always Remember Val month, with another new one that neither of us have seen, which was 1988's Willow, directed by Ron Howard. Before we get into the film and all the behind the scenes details, do you want to tell me how your week was? I mean, I know how you're doing because of the game, but anything else to highlight from
Jeez,
the week?
after the game finishes, like everything else, I don't even remember what happened. Yeah, went to Mission Impossible. That was good fun. Works me nuts.
Yeah.
Which is it just continues. It just continues. It's kind of fun.
Capitalism, baby. That's what
It
it
is.
is.
It is. It is. There was I went to see a second preview screening for The Surfer, Nicolas Cage, but it was a screening called Cageapalooza,
Oh.
where there was like cage trivia at the beginning to give prizes away.
Oh.
And then there was like a costume contest. So about like 40 people turned up in different versions of Nicolas Cage.
That's amazing. Did you just
Yeah,
love it?
it was sick. My favorite one who didn't win, my favorite one was these two girls that were dressed up as surgeons and they had like their faces painted red and like face masks. It was
That's
like,
so
and
cool.
then they'd get up and they'd swap faces and put it back on. I'm like, that's awesome. That should
That's
have won.
commitment.
But what one was a guy dressed as Dr. Stanley Goodspeed out of The Rock, with
Oh, I haven't seen that.
the green little. He had the prop of the green little spherical things. That's the
Hmm.
like gas weapon in the movie. But I thought the face off one was really good. But about there
Wow.
was about like seven highs from Raising Arizona, which was
It's an
fun.
easy one.
One
Yeah.
guy go like because you have to introduce himself. One guy goes, "I haven't seen the film, but I'm the main guy from Raising Arizona."
At least lie and say that you've seen
Yeah,
it.
just
Come
say
on.
it. Like no one's gonna doubt you. Like it is. But that movie's awesome. You got to see The Surfer. I really want to see what you think of Surfer,
Okay.
especially after watching Wake and Fright. Really
Hmm.
want to see what you think. But other than that, it was good. How's your week?
Nice. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, work is also crazy for me. It's just nonstop busy and piling up, but is what it is. As you know, been working on our bathroom renovation this week, so I've had a contractor in my house every day and working away, making a lot of noise,
How much?
and Scooter's barking a lot.
How long do you have to go?
Oh, I'm not sure. They're just doing basically like a bathtub shower rebuild. So like, reframing, restructuring the whole area and then replacing the plumbing and putting in like the tub and the tile and all that. So it's not a full bathroom reno. It should be done in like maybe 3 weeks max. Like I
Okay.
think they're doing the tile next week and then they'll do the grout and
It
then it'll dry and all that. So probably like a 2.5 week to 3 week project.
Yeah, like it must be annoying right now, but it's going to be incredible once it's all done.
Yeah, especially with like the history of like that whole thing was like a massive leak that was there when we bought the house,
Yeah,
but we didn't know and came across it later, black mold, like it was just
classic.
a whole mess. So it's been a long time coming. So I'm very relieved. And yeah, have some fun stuff in the works the next couple of months. So, you know, life is good. Life is getting a little bit more enjoyable
Oh
after
yeah.
a long surgery recovery for me. So
Oh,
can't complain.
well done.
Nice. Okay, well, let's jump into the film. So, I'll give you a little bit of like just some fun info about it before we get into it.
We love fun info.
So, this film was directed by Ron Howard, but the story was by George Lucas, which I think last week you mentioned George Lucas, I think, directing it. I think I was confused as well, but he wrote the story
Yeah,
apparently, and then Bob Dolman wrote the screenplay. So, you kind of have like three different people all involved in this process.
yeah.
Stars Warwick Davis, obviously, Val Kilmer, Joanne Whalley, Billy Barty, and Jean Marsh. Apparently, Lucas convinced, or not convinced, wow, I can't read today, conceived the idea back in 1972, which I found really interesting because that was like 16 years before it came out and pre Star Wars as well.
Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
which is just weird. He must have just like wrote it and kind of like stashed it away and then started working on Star Wars, is
Yeah,
what I
wow.
assume happened.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he finally approached Ron Howard about directing it in the late. Sorry, I just am all over the place today. In late 1985, so a couple years before it started filming, I guess he had seen a movie that Ron Howard directed, and I think he was kind of like, okay, this is the guy to
Yeah.
make this movie that I haven't actually made yet. And then one cool thing is Industrial Light and Magic apparently created the visual effects and animation sequences in this movie, and it led to revolutionary breakthrough with digital morphing technology.
They're
So
very
that was
good,
like,
especially
yeah,
like the morphing of the witch that
the,
goes into the different animals.
yeah, and then
I thought
even
that
like
was,
the pig transformation
yeah, I
as
thought that was
well.
really good.
Yeah, for 1988, I think it's really impressive, and it definitely obviously set a tone for what they could kind of do with these types of films.
Yeah.
Film had a $35 million budget, grossed 137.6 worldwide. So not amazing, but it's pretty good. Apparently, it wasn't received super well with critics as far as the direction, the pacing, the story, but was praised for the visual effects, character design, and Warwick Davis's performance. Which, for me, I think those three things are definitely top of the list. So I agree with that definitely.
Mad Mardigan,
Um,
Mad Mardigan, Mad
what
Mardigan.
that's like a mouthful of a name, though. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, Mad Mardigan,
Mad Mardigan.
but it's pretty badass. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, before we jump into the breakdown, tell me your thoughts. First time watch for both of us, so very curious to see what you thought.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
It's very campy and a product of the '80s, which I respect. I love Warwick Davis and anything he's in. I thought
Hmm.
Val was awesome. Like
Hmm.
he didn't do anything like spectacular. He's just a really nice presence here. I thought,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Joanne Whaley, I believe, is the name of Saoirse.
Hmm.
That turned into his wife, by the way. After
Yeah, I
this
have
film.
I have that down in my
Oh,
notes
sorry, my
about
bad. I
yeah.
was like,
No, it's okay. It's fine.
I looked that up. I was just like, who's she married to? Because I reckon they got some chemistry here. And I was like, oh no, they were married. So I'm like, oh, that's hilarious.
I think they met on this set.
Yeah, and then like they got
So
married that year.
yeah,
I
and then
was
they got
like,
divorced like 8 years later.
that's what happens, you know. That's what happens, you know. Players got to play. But no, I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of it's there's a lot of comparisons to Lord of the Rings, which I get. It is like a fellowship going on a journey to defeat evil.
Yeah.
But like that could be said about a lot of other films. But I think it's a lot. It's super charming, and there's a lot of it that still stands up. Which I
Hmm.
love these like old school fantasy films that like are a product of its time, but they still just have that charm to them. Which I think this is a
Hmm.
movie that's gonna like age gracefully. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely. No, I agree with you. I wasn't like wowed by it by any means. I think it's really fun. I'm a big fan of 80s movies. There was a couple of times where I saw, things that reminded me of like recreation scenes that I've seen in other films. So this film almost feels like it did kind of do some things that were then not stolen, but used for, inspiration in other like late 80s, early 90s movies. So it definitely has that charm. It definitely has that appeal to just kind of throw it on and go on this journey and have fun.
Hmm.
I do kind of agree that the directing and the story pacing, not my favorite
Yeah, it's too
things.
long.
It is too long. I do
Yeah,
think they could have kind of tightened up the story and made it like an hour 45. I don't think it
agreed.
needed to be 2 hours, but I wasn't like upset with any moments. It just felt like certain moments just weren't necessary. Certain little scenes just didn't feel like they really added anything to the story. And there were so many characters too, which I felt like if you're going to make like a trilogy, that could work. But for
Yeah,
just one movie, it was just kind of a lot. And as I was taking the notes, I was like, my God, there are all these characters. Who is this person? Like, it was
yeah,
just one of those films where you just kind of feel a little overwhelmed by the story, but it was still simple enough to where obviously like you knew where it was going. But yeah, no, I think it's really good. I think it's a good, solid movie with a lot of fun and great performances. I think Warwick Davis definitely is the shining light for it. I think without him, it doesn't really work.
yeah.
He's just got this really like kind, wholesome energy about him. And he was only 17 when they filmed this movie.
Really?
Can you believe that? Yeah.
And he had a wife and kids.
Yeah, he was playing like a late 20s kind of. I think they wanted to give that character this like kind of innocence because he has so much growing to do, in his
Yeah.
capabilities that's my guess is that they kind of wanted him to have just like a very youthful sort of presence about him.
Wow.
Because
I
I
love
don't
Warwick
understand why
Davis,
they'd want
man.
someone so young otherwise.
He's a badass. I love Warwick Davis.
He is. Yeah, he's great. Awesome. Okay, well, shall we get into it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We open to a magical world where prophecy foretells the downfall of an evil queen named Bav Morda, who rules Nockmar. She fears a prophecy that foretells a child will be born who will bring her downfall. So when Alora Dannon is born with the marking that they've been looking for, the evil queen orders her execution as she knows now the omen is true. Before she has a chance to take the baby, though, a midwife smuggles her out of the castle and escapes to the forest. Thank God. The queen sends devil dogs, or I don't know what you
Oh,
call these
dude,
things.
the like rat dogs things. Those are
Yeah,
those are horrifying, by the way.
horrifying. I'm calling them devil dogs, but she
I
sends
like
those
them. Devil
after
dogs.
her.
Ditties.
So sadly, the midwife dies, but before she does, she manages to place the baby on a raft that floats down the river. Fun fact here about the devil dogs: those were Rottweilers in rubber masks and suits.
Sure. Sure.
Do you know what a Rottweiler is?
Yeah, yeah. I used to live
Okay.
next door to Rottweilers, and they were horrifying.
Isn't that kind of funny though?
That is
Like because you
funny.
can tell that there was almost like a line where the face ended and the body started. So I was
Yeah.
kind of wondering.
They
Thought that was
did look
funny.
like dogs just with shit taped on them.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, so that makes sense.
That's funny. Okay, so the baby is found downstream by Willow Ufgood. Ufgood, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. A humble Nelwyn farmer who has big dreams of becoming a sorcerer. While he originally tells his family, I love this line, no one better fall in love with this baby. They all proceed to fall in love with this
Yeah.
baby. Willow and his wife Kaya end up keeping her to take care of her temporarily. Sidebar, real quick, that family, it's just the cutest thing I've
Yeah,
ever
it's
seen.
it's
Like those
such a
kids,
wholesome, nice family.
yes, like just the sweetest people. I was just like oohing and awing over those kids every time they were like, Dada.
Yeah.
So
Even
cool.
like the wife though, there was like not to jump forward when he's about to leave, and she goes, "We've never been
Mhm.
apart." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, that broke me."
Yeah, they were really sweet. Unfortunately, after Nockmar hounds, which I guess are the devil dogs, that's what their formal name is, arrive and attack any baby cradle that's in the village, Willow was forced to come clean about the baby Alora and presents her to the village leader. The elders come to the conclusion that she must be taken out of the village, and Willow is chosen to escort her safety or to safety along with a group of fellow soldiers. I think it's about like 6 of them that go. That awful
Yeah.
guy with the bald head.
Oh,
I
he
don't know his name.
sucks.
Sucks.
He gets exactly what he deserves though.
Yes,
A scene that like
absolutely.
really made me feel sick.
Yeah, I'm like already blanking on. Oh, no, no, I remember now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry. I was like trying to remember yeah, the baby was feeling sick
yeah,
and decided to
exactly.
release that onto him. Yeah. So before departing, High Aldwin, which is the like sorcerer of the village, tells Willow to listen to his heart and trust his instincts. He gives them these magic acorns and says they turn anything to stone. On their journey, they encounter Mad Mardigan, played by Val Kilmer, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Very rough around the edges, but skilled, like mercenary. I don't even know what you call him. He's kind of just like
he's
a
just
guy
like
on
a
his own, like
yeah,
ex-soldier, maybe.
he's a lone wolf.
Lone wolf, yeah, who's been imprisoned and he's in like this giant crow's cage, just kind of in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah,
hanging there. At first, Willow does not trust him, but eventually gives in to allow him to take the baby to safety so that they can obviously go home. This is where everyone leaves. Willow and his friend Migosh stays with him, and it's kind of just the two of them left to care for the baby. Um, Sorry, I got my notes all confused here.
very good.
Why? I'm sorry. This is not.
Why look at that? The cage that he's in, it's so random.
It is random, and it's in the middle of
It's
nowhere.
the middle of nowhere, and he's just in this
Yeah.
random cage.
Hmm.
Is it explained why he's in the cage?
He got like placed there for doing something wrong. Like he like basically like pissed off the wrong person. I don't know if it's the queen
And they
or
think
like
that the next thing is just to let him rot in a cage.
yeah, he's
That's
being punished
fucking
basically.
wild. That's
Yeah, it is
wild.
wild.
We live in a
Now,
good time.
yeah, it's brutal. I realized why I was getting myself confused because I forgot to actually put in there like he leaves Mad Mardigan with the baby.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, my notes don't make sense. What's happening? So yes, he eventually agrees to trust him. He agrees to let him out of the cage, and Mad Mardigan's going to care for the baby, and then Willow and Migosh are going to go home finally because that is obviously the goal
Yeah.
for them to be able to leave. So they head home, and they have this discovery that these things called the brownies, which are like these really tiny little people, have stolen the baby. They're like riding on an owl, and the owl is carrying the baby. It's actually kind of like a hilarious scene. And they pursue them, obviously, to save the baby. But they are captured by the brownies. And this is the scene I was talking about earlier, where I feel like it's kind of been imitated. This scene reminded me a lot of in Army of Darkness. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Where Ash is like
I got the
being
DVDs.
tortured by these little tiny versions of himself, and they're like
Yeah.
tying him up. It reminded me a lot of
Yeah,
that.
it reminded me a lot of Gulliver's Travels,
Oh, I haven't seen that.
but it's like a lot of like it's like, or even in like Night at the Museum, like with the little dudes, like little Owen
Yeah,
Wilson and
it
Steve
was just
Coogan.
really funny.
Yeah, it
Like
was
very
adorable.
like good, just like slapstick comedy type
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I really enjoyed that whole scene. But yeah, they basically tie them up. There's like this whole thing they do where they capture them. But this fairy queen, Sherlindria, frees them after she explains who the baby is. She tells them that it's Alora Dannon. She is the foretold princess of Air Asleen, and that she has chose Willow to be her guardian. So he is the one that has to escort her to where she needs to go, and he has to keep her alive. After learning this, she gives Willow a magic wand and sends him on his way to find Enchantress Finn Raziel. Razal. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Razal?
so
Razal. I think I'm overthinking
Yeah.
it with the IEL. I think it's just Razal. And expresses to him again that the baby must stay alive. So there's a lot of pressure on Willow now. There's also so many names to keep track of here. Are you keeping up?
yeah, like
I barely am.
I'm keeping up now that you're talking like through it, but like at the time when they were like chatting through everything, I was just like, who the fuck is that? Like
Literally.
yeah, it was like Game of Thrones.
I was literally about to say it was like when I attempted to watch Game of Thrones and I could not keep up because I could not keep track of all the
Have you
names.
never finished Game of Thrones?
No, I've seen like the first 2 seasons years ago, and then I couldn't get into it.
Wild,
I know.
wild.
I'm weird. Okay. Willow pushes Migosh to go home, and he accepts the responsibility on his own of getting Alora to where she needs to go. So I'll stop there. That's kind of like the movie setup. It's kind of long. This is where I think the pacing issues come in, is one
Yeah,
thing I'll
it's
add.
a lot of
This
setup.
takes like 45 minutes to get to this point.
Yeah.
which it shouldn't, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a simple story. It's like
Yeah.
she's like a prodigal like chosen one sort of thing.
Hmm.
We've seen that in so many movies. It's literally like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. But
That's what it reminded me of, Harry Potter.
yeah, where it's just like the pinnacle of innocence has to deliver the secret key to the humans.
Yep.
That's the story. And that took like 30 to 40 minutes to set that up.
Yeah.
And it's like we needed like a warrior. We needed like a couple of loyal servants, and that was it. And it took way too long to set that up, I thought.
Yeah.
But I loved the introduction of them all. I thought that was
Hmm.
fun. But yeah, again, I agreed. Too
Yeah.
long.
No, I think it's all really it's a good story. I just think they could have trimmed off some of the fat there and it could have kind of gotten going a little bit better because I think the second half of the movie is much better than the first half because they're actually on the journey, like it's like there's the threat now. She's after him. He's trying to keep her safe. There's a lot more going on, a lot more at stake.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just took a little while to get there, but still Warwick Davis is he's so great. And I love just watching him care for the baby. I just think it's just so wholesome. It's just so sweet. You don't always see that kind of character in fantasy movies. Like there usually is like a main character who is more tender and loving, but I just feel like he kind of brought something different to it, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. Okay. So continuing on, Willow is accompanied on his journey by two of the brownies, Frangine and Rule, one of them played by Kevin Pollak. If you noticed that, I don't know if you did. He's like just always shows up in every movie.
Kevin Pollak.
Look him up. You'll recognize him. They end up in a tavern looking for help when they stumble upon Mad Mardigan, who has been sleeping. Yeah. He's been sleeping with a married woman or is this mistress who is attempting to hide him by dressing him up as a woman. This scene is hilarious. Just like you see Val in a dress with like breasts and makeup.
His name is? What's the name that he
Oh,
uses? Like,
I didn't write down the name.
Wait, no, I'll find it. I'll find it.
But yeah, the husband comes in and he's like pretending to be a woman and like hiding his face. And it's a really, really comical scene. There actually are quite a few comical scenes in this movie. I was laughing quite a bit, especially when Val Kilmer was on screen. I feel like he was making me laugh a lot. While you look for the name, Sorsha, the queen's daughter, and Kale's soldiers, Kale is kind of one of their bad guys, arrive looking for the baby. And this causes Mad Mardigan's true identity to be revealed because they kind of start fighting and his dress and wig and all that gets ripped off. So he gets revealed to the husband and this causes a brawl to break out in the bar. Did you find it?
I see Lug, but that's not it.
That's not it. Okay. Well,
is it just Mardigan?
Maybe.
The female name he gives is Mardigan. He basically says, I'm Mardigan, her cousin.
So he just takes off the mad off his name.
Yeah.
Says Mardigan.
I'm Mardigan, her cousin.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that whole scene is really comical. It kind of reminds me of just like all those type of 70s and 80s movies where you get these like silly bar fights and like the fighting all sound super unrealistic and almost kind of like an old Western or something where you just kind of have all this craziness happening. But it's a lot of fun. So the brawl breaking out gives Willow and kind of his little gang a distraction. So they are able to escape with Allura. So they get out with the baby. Mad Mardigan doesn't want to help, but ends up allowing Willow to follow him to the lake where Rizal lives. But then he says, we're parting ways. We'll get you to the river and that's it. So they make their way to her where she's been turned into a possum by the evil queen. They bring her the baby, but before long they are captured by the queen's men as Mad Mardigan apparently was being a traitor and told them where to find them. What did you think of that? Were you surprised?
Yeah, a little bit because I started this film when I was like, oh, there's Lord of the Rings, and then he turned, I'm like, this is Aragon. And then when he did that, I'm like, this ain't Aragon.
No.
So I was like, yeah. So immediately I was just like, which is okay because he has his own character arc of like he's very arrogant and selfish and self-opinion, and that's all he gives a fuck about is himself at first, but then by the end of it, he's all about Willow.
Yep.
So. Like, it makes sense in the grand scheme of things, but the first, I was just like, I was taken aback, for sure.
I was too, because it didn't happen as early as I thought it would. You know what I mean? Like, I thought he would have helped them at the bar or get the baby if he really wanted to do that. Like, why get him all the way to where he wants to go and then do it? It just kind of felt like a weird choice. But yeah, I guess it was important for him to sort of break that trust and then have to go back on it, especially because Willow didn't trust him. from the get-go. So it's almost like remember how he in the beginning he can't trust his instincts? I feel like that's another example of like, oh, he did trust his instincts. He shouldn't have trusted Mad Mardigan. He did, and it bit him.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like another example of his instincts. He just didn't go with his gut, which is what he kind of is supposed to do throughout this whole movie. So it kind of works, but definitely a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, great.
So Willow begs Sorsha to let him take care of the baby, but she won't let him. And they end up taking them back as prisoners, including Rizal, who again is a possum. She continues efforts to have Willow turn her back into her human form. She has told him she has to be back into her human form to be able to do what she needs to do to, fight against the evil queen. By using the wand he was given, he's supposed to kind of do the spell and try to turn her back. But he struggles with it, and he accidentally turns her into, I guess it's called a rook, which is like a type of bird. That's when she turns into like that crow-like bird. Yeah. So while that's happening, Frangine, little guy, trying to keep track of all these characters, little tiny man, he accidentally doses Mad Mardigan with the love dust while trying to pick a lock into the room where Alora is, which she's in the room with Sorsha. The love dust causes him to confess his undying love for Sorsha, but she isn't buying it. She's like, wait, what? Because like literally the day before, he's telling her how much he hates her.
He's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Yeah.
She kicks him in the face, I think. So he's really pissed about that. He keeps bringing that up. Sorsha's a badass. I'll just say
she's sick. I straight up, when she turned up, I thought it was Winona Ryder.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I definitely recognize the actress, but I was like, I don't know if I know her that well, but like she has a familiar face about her.
I thought it was Winona.
But I don't think Winona's ever had red hair. So
I think it was just the eyes that really got me. I was just like, is that Winona?
She does have those dark brown eyes. I mean, honestly, if she kicked me in the face, I might want to marry her too. So I don't blame Val.
Did you see my my Letterboxd review for Mission Impossible?
No.
The latest one, I gave it 4 stars, and I said I'd pay good money to have Tom Cruise beat the shit out of me. So like, I get it. Like, yeah, I get it.
You get it. You get it.
You get it.
Okay, so yes, he confesses his undying love for her. She isn't buying it, but they manage to flee with the baby, and while doing so, come across Eric. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his name. This is the guy with like the blondish hair. He's like a soldier who Mad Mardigan has that history with, and they kind of chat at the beginning when the soldiers are going by. So they come across him and the remnants of his army after the Bavmorda defeated them. So they were headed to battle earlier. Now they've been defeated. There's just a handful of them left. So they come across them. The Queen's army pursues them with Sorsha, but they manage to fight them off. And this time they take her as a hostage. But of course, she's a badass and manages to escape. Mm-hmm. Sort of like that moment where Mad Mardigan kind of lets her escape. Like he kind of is like, okay, I think I like her. I'm going to let her go. And she's kind of like, I think I like him, but I'm going to go anyways. It's like one of those unspoken moments. Yeah. I do think it's funny that like this is where the story again just feels really like bloated. It's like they capture them. They get freed. They capture her. She gets freed. It's kind of just like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it's back and forth on the way to one destination.
Yeah, and I get that they wanted to like have a lot happen. It just feels a little bloated in this section where it's just like a lot of repetitive type of stuff. But still enjoy a lot of the characters. But just the story itself is definitely not like my favorite thing.
Yeah, you're on notice, Willow. You're on notice.
Yeah, but not you, Warwick.
No, you're great. Warwick can have a break. All right, I'd love to get a beer with Warwick
He's
Davis.
Got quite a career.
I'd have so many beers with Warwick Davis. Just chat Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And great. Harry Potter.
Oh. He's been in so much stuff.
Yeah, he's
so
awesome.
Much stuff. Okay. Really quick. I don't really have like notes about it, but I just wanted to mention the scene after she escapes and then Mad Mardigan and Willow and the baby end up essentially on this sled type thing, and they are like going through the snow for like 3 minutes straight.
Yeah.
With a baby in tow, and it looks like they go across so many acres of land.
Yeah.
What did you think about this scene? It's so ridiculous.
Like in a world of magic, this was the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I looked at my watch a couple of times. Like, are they still on the sled? Like, yeah. Don't worry, you're not alone there for sure. That was nuts.
Ridiculous. But yeah, I just wanted to mention it because I thought it was really like out of pocket and just like really ridiculous and funny. But anyway, so Willow and gang finally arrive at Tir Asleen, but find that it has been cursed and overrun by trolls. While there, they're bombarded by Kale's army. Again, this is one of the other bad guys who's kind of helping to find the baby. They attempt to fight them off, and Willow accidentally turns a troll into a giant two-headed monster
Don't we
with
all?
his wand. What?
Don't we all?
Have a two-headed monster?
Yeah, why not? It did like
I
that
mean-
just turned in like there's just no explanation, which I don't
Yeah.
mind. There's no
Yeah.
explanation. It's just like he says an enchantment that we've never seen him learn, and then this troll just like gets shredded and then drops into the water, and a giant hydra comes out. Like, well,
Yeah, it's
maybe
interesting,
he
like-
isn't the sorcerer we always wanted him to be.
I mean, that's what's interesting about this story is that it's clear he wants to be a sorcerer from the beginning, but there's really no training, and we don't even really get scenes of him, like the learning phase of it or
Yeah.
the practicing phase of it. There's like that one scene where he practices and ends up on the tree branch, like up top. But yeah, it is interesting how like he ends up sort of saving the day by the end, but he does it with a magic trick.
Yeah.
It's not even really sorcery. So it's like I don't know what the whole message is supposed to be. Like maybe don't overthink it. Like I don't know. It's a very interesting fantasy story. It's very the magic aspect of it at least is it's very like incomplete.
Yes, good point.
So it's just I don't know. Lots of crazy stuff. Two-headed monster. Of course, more chaos ensues because of this. Kale manages to capture Allura because of all this going on. Everyone's trying to fight off the monster. So now we went from they took the baby, Sorsha had it. They took the baby back, Willow had it. Now Kale has the baby. She's back with the bad guys. What do you think is going to happen next?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's just going
Sorry,
back.
I'm not making
It's-
fun of this movie. It's just,
But
it's
it
a
is
little
like
bit,
tennis, though, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. I'm with you there.
Sorry, I could stop here, but I feel like we've kind of been stopping along the way. So,
No, I like it. Continue.
okay. So Sorsha, now realizing that she loves Mad Mardigan,
As we all do.
chooses, as we all do. Yes,
the way,
of course.
can I just
did you
say-
see those black locks?
Can I
Beautiful.
say, Val Kilmer can fucking get it in this film.
Oh yeah,
He's a handsome
Definitely would,
devil.
yeah.
Like, he can get the smoke show list. Specifically for Willow. Like,
Yeah.
he's stunning in this film.
the long hair works for him.
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely it does.
So yeah, she chooses him and sides with him and ends up fighting along with them and laying a big fat kiss on him. So now they're in love forever. And here's where I was going to give you the fun fact about how they met on set and married for 8 years and had 2 kids together.
Wait, say it again and I'm going to act surprised.
Fun fact here, Harry.
Hmm.
Joanne Whalley and Val Kilmer met on this set and were married for 8 years and had 2 kids together.
Wow.
Mind-blowing stuff. I know.
For one, I speak on behalf of everyone else listening. I'm surprised. I didn't see that
Shook.
coming. Yeah,
Shook.
That's fucking nuts. But that is such a heartwarming story, though.
It is.
Yeah.
I love those stories where like couples, like actors meet on set and then end up together. I mean, it's a little sweeter when they end up together for like, 40 years or something, not
Yeah.
8, but still sweet.
Exactly.
Okay, so Kale is able to escape with Allura, like I mentioned. He heads towards Nockmar's castle. This is where the Queen Bavmorda, so many fucking names, is preparing the ritual, or will prepare the ritual. So Willow and everyone that he's with, along with Eric's, like I said, I can't really pronounce his name, Army, the guy from
Irk.
the other
Yeah.
troop of
Irk.
guys. So many fucking people
Yeah.
to Nockmar's castle as well. But upon their arrival, the queen turns them all into pigs. We talk about this scene for a minute.
Pig. I loved it when she saw her daughter and was like, pig.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun.
I
But-
thought that it was very impressive, the effects that they were
Oh,
able to do.
it was way better than some of the shit today. Isn't that
Absolutely.
nuts? Yeah, I thought it was really, really well done.
It must be that specific type of animation effect where they use like practical mixed with digital, you know what I mean, to like morph it into something that looks realistic but still has that digital aspect to it. I don't know how they fucking do it, but I thought it was really cool. When Val Kilmer was like almost completely a pig face, I was dying laughing.
Yeah, that was funny as hell. Well, yeah, it starts doing the
Yeah.
teeth at first. Yeah, that was good. But like, yeah, I do think that movies like this, if they use practical effects, they're gonna last longer.
Yeah.
Like, if this didn't have practical effects, if this had the shitty CGI at that time, this would look awful and no one would be talking about Willow.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Strongly believe that.
Nice. Okay, well, as the queen takes Alora and preps the ritual, Willow uses the wand to protect himself, and he actually manages to finally turn Rizal into her human form. This is what you were talking about earlier, where she transitions from like the goat to a tiger. There's a couple others in there. I can't remember all the animals, but it's a really cool scene. And then she eventually becomes her human form. She's kind of an older woman, but she's able to break the spell that she used to turn them all into pigs now that she's human again. And she turns everyone back into their normal human form. Thought it was a little bit funny. This was like such a short-lived thing. It was like turned into a pig. 5 minutes later, not a pig anymore.
I did like how they shot it. It's like everyone one by one entering the tent. It's like next, like it's like a doctor's appointment.
Really funny. By the end, they're all just standing in there. Yeah,
that was fun.
Really good. Okay, so Willow and the gang trick their way into the castle in a clever way. This is where Willow kind of goes to the center. He has like that drum and he like bangs it, and then all of a sudden they all come up from like the ground. They're all hiding under like tarps and they're on horses and they're storming the castle. But it was kind of a fun scene. I feel like I was very like it was unexpected for me, so I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, it was. It was like a lot of war strategy that wasn't talked about at all. I loved it.
No discussion. We don't need to know the plan.
This is totally fine. That's not a criticism. That's totally fine.
It is interesting though, because I feel like in most like big epic fantasy stories, usually you like are watching the characters like kind of come together and make the plan. Like that's usually part of the storyline. So it was a little interesting to me that didn't really happen at all here.
Yeah.
But I guess this is kind of a kids movie maybe too, so they were maybe trying to keep it more simple. But I would have liked to see some scenes where there was a little bit more like character development happening or like character to character, like dialogue happening, something like that. I feel like it would have been a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
So Willow going up towards the queen in the ritual chamber with Sorsha and Rizal in an attempt to save Alora. And then while he's doing that, everyone else is fighting off the queen's men. Epic battle going on. Kale sadly kills Eric, which pisses off Mad Mardigan because that was his friend and his ex-comrade or something, I think. So he avenges him and ends up killing Kale. Lots of death happens. Sorsha attempts to stop her mother, but she's unable to. She won't give up. She wants to do the ritual. So then she's a total badass again and fights off every soldier in the room.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just left with Queen, Sorsha, Rizal, and Willow.
Yeah.
And the baby. So the queen, basically we have, it's like a 10-minute long scene, but she basically makes Rizal and the daughter like unable to do anything. They're kind of worn out on the ground. Their attempts to defeat her did not work, leaving Willow to be the only one to stop her.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Didn't see that coming. Willow is able
toss
to
it into the fire.
is able to use like a sleight of hand trick to the queen into thinking he made Alora vanish, just as he did in the beginning. I didn't talk about the little like fair, like whatever you call it, like the party they had.
Yeah, but how did he drop a baby and it doesn't matter.
Don't question it.
Doesn't matter.
It's a disappearing pig act is what he calls it from the beginning of the film. And he ends up saving her by doing something he already knew how to do. So did he really learn anything about sorcery? I think he learned to trust his instincts.
That's what it is.
Right? That's the whole message of the movie. This causes the queen to become very unnerved and she moves to attack him. But while trying to do so, she accidentally completes the ritual, banishing herself instead.
Yeah.
Which I think is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Great, satisfying ending for her. That scene's a little bit bad on the CGI, like when like the red lightning comes down. I didn't think that was very good, but
for the 80s, not bad, right? Yeah, for the 80s.
Yeah. So while Willow is saving Alora, Mad Mardigan is out there fucking shit up, killing lots of soldiers, doing his thing. And there's sort of like a celebration, I guess, of like defeating the queen. And so before they part ways, Rizal gives Willow a book on sorcery, encourages him to stick with it. Just still don't really understand because he didn't really end up learning it very well, but maybe he can keep trying. Maybe that's the point. And then Mad Mardigan and Sorsha stay back at the castle to take care of Alora. Guess they're going to be like a little family now. And Willow returns home and he is a hero. He gets reunited with his wife and kids. It's super sweet and adorable. This is Willow.
Well done.
Round of applause. So yeah, give me your final thoughts and score. It was kind of hard to stop along or pick spots to stop because it's
Yeah,
just
no,
such a so much going on, yet it's so simple.
yeah, no, for sure.
So comment on anything that I missed, and then yeah, give me your overall thoughts
No,
and
you're
score.
great. I really enjoyed this film. I really like the last act as well. The last act's a
Uh-huh.
lot of fun, and you could tell a lot of the budget went there. I can't. I don't have the budget. Well, did you mention the budget? I can't
It's
remember
like
the budget.
35 mil.
That's really good. That's a lot
Hmm.
of money for 80s. So yeah, a lot of that budget probably went to the last act, which makes sense. But I don't know. I love these characters. Willow's a lot of fun. This just is it's just so charming. It's
Yeah.
harmless. It's and with it being so much practical effects, it is gonna stand the test of time. Um, yeah, I think this is a necessary watch for any fantasy lovers as well. For sure, just to see where a lot of modern day references of modern day fantasy come from. A lot of it does come from Willow, but Willow is a love letter to fantasy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. 3.5.
Yeah, nice. No, I give it the same. I think it's a perfect 3.5, just solid, good film. I really enjoy the characters and the world that they have set out to let us go on the journey with, but I don't love the story itself. It feels a little bit, like I said, bloated and just a little bit maybe not out of order, but just the way things work. There's just some stuff that's missing that I really wanted to see, and then other stuff that I just didn't care about.
Yeah.
So I do think that maybe it was a bit ambitious, with what he was trying to tell. This could have honestly probably ended up in a trilogy type of situation. They could have really drawn out these characters and really gotten to know them, and things would have been more believable if you really gotten to know the characters better. So maybe that's part of the problem. And I'm used to something like Lord of the Rings, where I have, all these movies or these books to really get to know these characters. So I think it's a really solid entry, like you said, into the genre. As someone who, I know you love fantasy, I do too. I think it's just a really cool, way to tackle that type of story. There's a lot of tropes from fantasy that they kind of cover, which I think is obviously, makes sense. But
Yeah.
I think Warwick Davis is really for me, what makes this so wholesome and charming. I think Val's great too, and I think Joanna Wally is great as well. But I think he really is just the heart and soul of the movie. So I'm glad I watched it. I can't believe I'd never heard of it even. Obviously from the mind of George Lucas, it's definitely essential. I just think that if you like these types of films, you should definitely watch this one. But I'm not sure I'll revisit it super often. It's
No,
just
I
kind of
agree.
it's good. I liked it, but not going to be thinking about it for years to come or anything like that.
Absolutely agreed. Nice.
Awesome. Okay, well, that's what we think of Willow. So let us know what you think in the comments if you've seen it. Before we go, we're going to do a quick little draft, of course. Harry had the great idea of doing a draft of the best movies with one-word titles, and
I,
there's lots of
there's
them.
a lot, so I think we can do 10, to be
We can do
honest.
10, and I also have a couple criteria for you.
Oh, okay.
So you need to have at least a horror film,
Nice.
at least an animated film, and
One
at least a comedy,
animated,
just
one
to mix it
times.
up, because
I
there's
like no, no,
so
no. You're
many
good. That's fine. Yeah.
banger films, 10 out of 10 films that are on this, but I want to make sure we mix it up a little bit.
And we're both agreeing that if it's the something, that's two
No,
words. Yes,
that's two
agreed.
words.
Agreed. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Because
I did not do a wheel, so you can go first.
yes.
No does. That would make it, that would just be
Yeah, I
endless.
wholeheartedly agree. Well, with the criteria, I am going to take horror first then. And there's so many horrors that you can take. I'm
Uh-huh.
going to take Scream.
Show us the tattoo.
Bam! Because you took it from me so many times in drafts, so, I got a little bit of PTSD.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Let's go one
Okay.
from one, right? Because it's two, of course.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely a good first pick. I think that I'm going to go with one of the best films that fits this criteria that I just never get tired of, and that is Parasite.
Nice.
One of the best international films, thrillers, whatever you want to call it.
Yep. No,
So many different categories you can put it into, but just an absolute masterpiece.
wholeheartedly. No, well done. Nice. Oh, there's so many. I'm gonna go one of my all-time favorites and probably the best film that I think we've ever reviewed, which is Heat.
I knew you were, I was trying to take it from you, but I thought you might do it early, and I didn't want it early.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Heat.
Yeah, it's a banger. Another Val movie.
Another Val. Fuck.
And
He's
if anyone's
good.
wondering why we didn't do that this month, it's because we've done it before.
Yeah,
So
we
go
did.
check out our episode from the 90s, which is when we first started doing genres.
Yeah.
That was a year and a half ago.
Oh wow. Look at us growing up.
Crazy. So grown up. Okay. Scream and Heat, huh? What am I gonna do? What am I
What are you
going
gonna do?
to do? I feel like there's ones that are like fan picks and there's ones that are just me picks, you know? And I think I'm just gonna stay true to myself always. And I'm gonna take one of the greatest films out there. I'm gonna say that about all these because they're all just the
They're all
greatest films ever.
bangers, yeah.
And I'm gonna take my horror, I guess. I mean, I'm probably
Already
gonna have
wrote it out.
multiple horror,
Already
but
wrote it out.
what did you write? Tell me.
I guess between two, but I'm thinking you're gonna say Alien.
Yeah, I'm saying Alien.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that I finally watched Alien Covenant and Prometheus?
No, what do you think?
I thought they were really fun.
Yeah,
I
they're
really enjoyed
really
it.
good. They're so
Yeah.
good. So I watched Prometheus when it first came out. I didn't like it. Then I rewatched it like a year and a half ago or something. Fucking loved it. Yeah.
I liked Prometheus more than Covenant, but I still thought they were both really fun.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Nice one. Yeah, Alien had to go real early.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to take another film that we reviewed, which could go under horror again. I'm going to go Jaws.
Okay. I'm happy for you that you've gotten 3 of your favorite movies of all time so far.
Fuck, I love Jaws.
I do
Jaws
think
is-
it's funny that there's so many like one-word movies that are some of our absolute favorite films, like just by chance.
I just got by the way, I just got a message from my friend saying, if you wanted to get a Top Gun Maverick tattoo, I will join you. Potential. I'm not
I
going to
don't
get
know
a Top
what
Gun
that
Maverick.
would be.
I'm not going
What
to
would be
get
a
a Top
Top Gun Maverick tattoo?
I don't know. He can get one. I don't want one.
I'm getting my Don't Be a Square tattoo this summer.
Oh, nice. By the way, I'm seeing Top Gun Maverick tonight with a symphonic orchestra doing the score
how
of it
funny.
while it's playing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be perfect after we talk about, the next movie because we're definitely not bulk recording.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
never do that. Okay. I think I'm going to take. Oh, there's just so many good ones. I feel like I got to get one that's just purely for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
That's also just an amazing movie, too. And I never get to pick it. So I'll take Goodfellas.
Yeah, good work. It had to go.
Yeah, I'd have to. And it's not like one that I think about watching often, but it's still an absolute banger.
I'm putting Alien as your horror, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be more, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we had at least one horror.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were doing 10 at first, so
No,
obviously.
that's good. That's good. Well, I'm going to take my animated film. Yep. I'm going to take Shrek.
Oh, fuck you. I can't believe you did that to me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Shrek 2 is the one that's the real masterpiece.
But
anyway.
I would take Shrek too, but that's 2 words.
It is, and it's the best.
Don't worry.
Okay, I guess I'll get my animation out of the way just in case you would possibly take this as a second animated movie.
Maybe.
I'll take one of my favorite Pixar, and I'll take Coco.
Oh, good pick. I love Coco.
Just makes me cry every time.
Or as I pronounce it, Coco. Okay. Now we get to have some fun. Now we're fun. This beat is sick. Wait, is that 1 word or 2 words? It's 1 word. Yep, 1 word. Cool. I'm gonna take Old Boy.
Nice. I can't believe that was a movie that I had heard about for so long and never saw the twist spoiled. It took me so long to watch it.
Same.
So disgusting, though.
Oh, it's gross as fuck.
Yeah, so gross. Okay. Well, almost halfway through my list. How do I want to wrap this up for the top 5 here? I think I'm going to go with just one of the best movies when it comes to tension and performances, and that is Mr. Damien Chazelle's Whiplash.
Well done. I was going to pick that next. Well done. All right, well, let's curve this bad boy out. Wait, I just want to make sure this is 1 word. Yep. Let's curve this bad boy out. I'm going to take my comedy.
I know what you're going to take.
What am I going to take?
Superbad.
I'm taking Superbad.
You take it in like every draft that you
It's-
can, I feel like.
Because it's a perfect comedy.
It is a perfect comedy, and I was going to take it, but I waited too long. So I guess I'll take the other perfect comedy, and I'll wait to take it because you're not going to take it. So
Okay, cool.
now you can stew on what that might be until the end.
Yeah.
Um, trying to see if I can get some variety in here now. I think that I want a romance film. So I'm going to take Spike Jonze, Her.
Oh, good pick. I fucking love her. Oh,
I'm good at Spike Jonze.
hers so good though.
I love that Spike Jonze has given us Her and, adaptation, but he's also given us Jackass.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do both?
Yeah, he's good, isn't he? He's very good. All right, that's taken.
Did you hear that computer noise that my computer just made, by the way?
No,
okay, good.
Not at all. Okay, I'm going to take Hereditary.
That's what I was going to pick next. Did I tell you that we rewatched that recently and I gave it 5 stars? I bumped it up.
Fuck yeah, you did. That movie's spectacular.
So good.
That's like one of the most horrifying watches in a cinema I've ever had.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in theaters and like being just absolutely like jaw dropped, about it and thinking it was amazing. But I think I gave it like 4.5 stars or something. And then I rewatched it finally and I was like, no, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Ari Aster's a little weirdo, but he makes good movies.
It is a perfect film.
Well, damn. That's what I wanted next.
Shame.
Yeah. So I guess I will take between a couple. I think I want to get a Nolan on here. So I'll take Oppenheimer.
Yeah, nice. That was actually going to be my next pick.
It's fucking amazing. I need to rewatch it. I have not seen it since I saw it in theaters.
Nice
which is a shame.
Okay. See, there is
nice long draft here.
There's a movie from last year that is still out there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I had a feeling you would want that, so I was going to leave that to you.
I appreciate it. Okay. Well, I'm going through the big directors of what's my favorite film from each one of them, and I'm like, that's not one word. That's not one word. I'm gonna go with Martin Scorsese's Silence.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen it.
That movie is fucking amazing.
My man's in it, right?
He is. He's very skinny. Very skinny.
So you're telling me he doesn't look good in it?
No. He's devoted, is what I'd say. He shows loyalty in that film.
It's like a religious film, right?
Very religious. It's about Christians in feudal Japan.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't usually really enjoy religious-based films, but there are some, like First Reformed, I really liked. So
yeah, I'll give
it a watch.
I think you would love Silence.
Check it out. Okay. Well, I feel like now how many am I in? I'm 7 in. I think these last couple are just going to be pure Ash picks, just
fuck them up.
Straight from the heart.
Fuck them up, Ash.
So let's go with my favorite Jordan Peele, and I'm going to take Nope.
Yeah, that is also the greatest Jordan Peele.
Yeah. I love that it's now getting the appreciation it deserves.
Oh, it's so good. I got flamed so much when I reviewed Nope last year. Now my review is Nope, Get Out, Us. And so many people just go.
People are really precious about Get Out. Like they really like to defend it as that it's so much higher than everything else.
Go lick a brick. Who gives a shit, you know?
Lick a brick. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It almost rhymes.
Yeah, fuck off. I'm going to go with Psycho for my 9th pick.
I knew you were going to take a Hitchcock.
I had to.
I should take Vertigo since I forgot to take it on that draft we did with Ethan, but I won't. I'm not going to.
Good movie. Good movie.
Still got some 5-star movies on this list though. So,
God, Silence is good. I can't wait till you watch that.
I'm gonna go with my comedy, and I'm gonna take Clueless.
Nice. We should do a Garfield month.
Oh, Andrew Garfield, right?
Yeah, but then at the end of the last week, we actually just do the movie Garfield with Bill Murray voicing the cat.
Do you have any regrets? Garfield, maybe.
Garfield, maybe.
I just rewatched Zombieland. The movie's so funny.
So good.
So we should definitely do that because we've done Tom Cruise, we've done Nick Cage. I need my man.
Hey, I suggested it.
You did.
Okay.
We're doing it. We're doing Tick Tick Boom.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'll gladly rewatch that. I'm gonna go with my favorite M Night film, Signs, for my last
Nice.
pick.
You have so many horror films on your list.
Yeah, I do. I'm seeing Bring Her Back next week, and it's good.
Oh yeah,
Because the directors Raka Raka, they're Australian, so they're doing
the Talk to Me guys.
Yeah, they're doing what's it called, a Q&A.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
That movie looks horrifying.
It does.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Julia Garner?
No, it's with
No, that's a different one.
It's with Sally Hawkins.
Oh, I love Sally Hawkins.
Yeah,
She's
her in
so
a
good.
horror. Let's see. Let's fucking go, Sal. Let's go, Sal.
She's so good.
Fuck
in
him up,
everything.
Sal. Fuck him up. That'll be me. That'll be me in the audience.
She's the one in Shape of Water, right?
Yeah, and in Paddington
Yeah,
1 and 2.
I've not seen Paddington 1 or 2 or
Okay.
Peru.
Okay, Ash, we're gonna have to do a Paddington month because that's
There's
nuts.
not even enough movies for that.
We'll find a way. Okay.
You mean we can watch Wonka as the fourth one since it's the same director?
Wonka. Yeah, sure.
Anyways, finishing off my list.
I never
I'm
want to
going
watch
to
that
take.
movie again.
I love that movie. Why do people hate it so much?
No, I don't hate it. I just think it's fine.
I'm gonna take 7, which is not fine.
Yeah,
it is excellent.
Yeah, 7's brilliant.
It's on the box.
What's
Okay,
in the fucking box?
let's recap. Harry took Scream,
Boom,
Heat,
boom,
Jaws,
boom,
Shrek,
boom,
Old Boy.
boom,
I almost said Old Navy. I'm sorry. That's like a store here in the U.S. Superbad,
Boom.
Hereditary,
Boom.
Silence,
Boom.
Psycho,
boom,
Signs,
boom.
Ash, me, took Parasite, Alien,
Eh.
Goodfellas,
Eh.
Coco, Whiplash, Her, Oppenheimer, Nope,
Yeah.
Clueless, and 7.
I think Nope at round 8 is a steal.
Yeah, that's really low. That definitely
God,
deserved to go sooner.
I might rewatch that tomorrow. Like, I love Nope. I love Nope
We
so
just
much.
got the 4K, like physical
Yeah,
media
I
of
watched
it, so
it on
we
4K.
honestly might watch it this weekend
Let's
too.
fucking go. Let's fucking
So good.
go.
So good. Okay, well, that wraps up our very lengthy one-word title drafts, but
Hell yeah.
amazing movies we have here. 20 just perfect films. So yes, that's what we think of Willow. Thank you for listening. Next week we'll end off our Remembering Val month with the OG Top Gun. We're definitely not going to record that right after this. We will not look the same. But yes, please watch that before next week. But until then, I am Ash. That's Harry. Follow us on everything, and we will see you at the movies.